Now let's look at adding in the road, again, just to give a little more context to the model. So we'll come back to our site plan, and we can grab uh, our road block, and again, we'll add a reference, copy it over. We're going to explode this, and we're going to delete off the pieces we don't need. I'm actually going to delete the interior line, because that's one of my exterior piece, because we're going to use that as a guideline. Actually, you know what? I'm going to back up because I forgot. I'm going to show you two different ways of building this. So with that in mind, let me draw this, and let me erase that. I want to turn these uh, into connected polylines, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Alright, so now these are connected polylines. I'm going to draw this line here. So again, I'm going to show you two ways to build um, this road. So here I'm going to grab the outside lines as well as my reference and copy this over. Doesn't really matter because I have my reference line. Uh, so we'll grab both of these, and I'm going to W block it out, and we'll come into our SketchUp model, and inside of our earth, we'll turn the house off, and we'll go File, Import, and import our road. So we can look at the first method, which will be our easiest method, and again, just using our reference point. There we go. And maybe I'm actually going to line this over, say 200 feet. And I'm going to explode and turn this into a group. Get rid of that. And I'm going to turn this into a group and slide it there. And that'll give it perfectly 200 feet, so we can slide it back over. And really, I'm actually going to say slide this over 200 feet. So I can show you both methods kind of simultaneously. So this is definitely going to be the easier. This will just be our two-dimensional reference road, if you will. So I'm going to Control X to delete out or to cut out the road, and come into my grass layer and plop it in and explode. Sometimes these pieces turn back to default, but we'll just paint it back grass. So now this is really our curb, and so we can come in here and go inside of our model and grab our concrete or masonry, whatever, and we'll just paint the curb. You can see that it's not reading this as a broken line, so we'll just trace over a piece, and that usually solves it. So now we can paint that as well. And this will leave as grass, but this we want to put some asphalt on. So just grabbing your favorite asphalt material. There we go. So we have asphalt and concrete curb to our driveway. And maybe if we want to, while we're here, if we want to paint our driveway, our masonry color, we'll paint our walkway our masonry color. And while we're here, maybe we'll paint this our masonry color as well. No big deal. Whatever we want it to be. Make it much nicer, like a limestone material, whatever we want. But again, we'll just keep it masonry for right now. And you can see that we can come in here and paint this as well. We can get into interior and getting all this painted, but that's not really needed for right now because we're not really dealing with interiors. So there you go. So that's the simple basic way, and there's a road. If we want to come back in and draw some lines to denote the center line, if they're there or not, we can put those in. So I'm going to grab both of these and slide this over 200 feet, and we can take a look at now building the road using a different method. So the first thing I want to do is grab this circle. I'm going to come into my grass and paste it because I want I want to make sure we keep that grass there. Oop, wrong key. And we're going to grab this line and we will paste it here. And we should be able to delete out the road. And because we want to keep that as a planter area, and so we should be good from a grass perspective there. So we still have, you can't really see it, but we still have our group. Let's see, yep, there it is. And now what I want to do is in our blocks files, I have this block site curbs, and this is a curb A, I believe, and I have a cutout for driveway already along with the profile we want to use. So we'll just build a three-dimensional curb out of this. And I know there's different curbs that have more of a flat with a gutter line, but we'll just show it with this one because it'd really be the same concept. And we'll paste it in here. And now we just want to grab our profile and put it right there, and we can just select everything, deselect the face, and let the follow me command run. And there you go. There's a, I just want to run in my smooth. Shift S I have set to be my soften smooth command. And so there you go. So there's a curb built in. This actually is slowing down the machine just a little bit, and I'm going to show you why in 1 second. So the reason why it started slowing it down, and I can show you real quick, is we've talked previously about the level of arches and how many segments that they have, and this one seems to have quite a bit. And so I'm actually going to redraw this and reduce the number of segments that the arch actually has. And I'm just drawing all the straight pieces real quick, and now we can come in and draw my arc and this arc to there we go. And we'll move the old one out of the way right over here. Now you can see that if I come in here and hit Shift E, this is 12 segments, which for a curb and nothing we're really going to focus on, that's way too much for what we need. We'll maybe be able to go to 3 and really reduce this and make it much easier to deal with. So let me copy this, and even though we've already used our outline, there's a couple ways we could actually get it back, but what I'm going to do is actually we'll just simply draw kind of connecting these dots in a roundabout way just so we know which ones to get rid of, and that should make that plane. And so I'm just going to Control C to select that plane, and then delete everything, and then Control V to put it back. And now, oh, these are all hidden lines. I think they got softened. Let me just hide this. There we go. So you can go through and just select all these lines to unhide. I think we need to unhide and unsoften. I think the easiest way is if I just pull everything out a little bit, and we will turn everything to 0. Unhide. There we go. And delete. And get rid of our erroneous lines. There we go. And there we go. Back to what we need. Actually, looks like we're slightly off. So I'll show you the other way. So that might have been the more convoluted way. So the other easy way, you can just come in here and we can close off our geometry and select this. Control C to copy, and we're just going to undo and get back to where we needed, and Control Shift V to paste back in place. Now with our outline back where we need it, let's grab our less polygoned outline, and we can run it. So the other issue really could be the number of segments on this circle, but I think with reducing the way we did on the face, we should be okay. So let's run it. It definitely seems to be running much smoother, so that seemed to be a success for us. So there's our curb, and you can see that even at just doing 3 segments, the curb still looks great unless you get really down into it, which hopefully you're not taking any shots from the curb itself. So now with the curb built, I'm going to turn the curb into a group, and quickly going in the group, I'm going to connect these dots just to, let me get this out of the way, to really grab the road. So Control C to grab the road and undo. Come back out of my group, Control Shift V to paste in place, and I'm going to bring this down and turn that into a group. Now as you can imagine, this is going to be my actual asphalt. So before actually I get into that, I'm going to hide because I want to add in my roundabout. So let's copy that over here, and I'm just going to place this right here on my circle and run the follow me command, and there we go. Oh, I actually have this facing the wrong way. So there we go. We want to run it the other way, and so we'll just run the follow me command, and there we go. And I'm going to turn this into a group as well. So now I'm going to unhide my road, and I can use, I'm going to hit Control C to copy this inner curb, and then Alt V, which is my intersection command, or excuse me, my subtraction command. Now I'm going to subtract this curb from my asphalt, and you can see that cuts it out, and Control Shift V pastes that curb right back in place. Now I'm going to come inside my asphalt, and I'm going to double click to select all this interior stuff, Control X to cut it out. So now I have just asphalt, and I can paint it as such. Let me find my asphalt material. There we go. And now when I come back out, I can come back to my grass layer, which actually already has the grass, so I don't need that piece that I cut out. And so there you go. So you have the roundabout with, this little grassy area, your curb. Oh, we need to paint our material on it. And there you go. So that's how we can build the curbs, and we can come in here now that we have this group built, and I'm going to say put this right here and build just a box that's the same width as my curb cut. Let's see, we'll pull this down, and we will cut my curb. Now what I want to do is turn these into groups, because I want to explode this, so I have that group and this group. And technically I would need to come back in and rebuild this, since we changed our arc lengths. And so I'm going to do that real quick, rebuild my piece here with less arcs to make this a little bit nicer piece that matches this up specifically. Okay, so you can see I now have my curb cut built, and you can see that inside of here there were a lot more segments going on than in this one, which now has a lot less, which allows things to run a little smoother. So I'm just going to erase that piece and plop this one in. And now using my solid tools, I can just join that to there and that to there. That line's still there because it's reading the material slightly different. So I'm just going to kind of re-material everything all together, and there we go. Nice smooth transition. Now with that built, I can just grab where I need to and slide my curve cut wherever I want it to go. Actually, maybe we'll do that, and we'll slide this piece all the way over here, and there you go. And so we can just adjust our driveway the exact same way we did previously, to where maybe we'll come in here and we can pull this down just a little bit more. And again, we'll say overemphasize the height of this thing. And now we can draw, let's hide this, and maybe we'll draw a triangle from the curb to the house, going up to where we need it to go, and back. And we'll paint it our material we need, so that when we cut, it all stays the same material. There we go. And there we go. The grass, we can just add on. We can use our contour tools that we've talked about previously. So maybe we can get our grass to follow this contour as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw this line here just to segment the grass and delete this out. And I want to break this line. Actually, I was going to erase all this and say maybe break this back here. And now I want to come in here and grab this line here of my driveway. And so since it's already built, I'm just going to grab it so we can match up perfect. Come back into my grass and I'll paste that right in place. And then we can see where these two intersect. And then I can just draw a line that connects those. Now it's not going to close a face, because if you look from a three-dimensional standpoint, this dips down, that follows the driveway, then comes back up, so we don't have a flat plane to close. I'll just put this back here, just a little more gradual. But this is where we can use previous tools we learned, like our contour tools, and we can say, I want to fill this in using contours. So if I click the button, you can see we fill in perfectly. Now it makes its own group, and it filled this in too that I don't want. But you can see the outline right there. So we're just going to come in here and start getting rid of the lines we don't want. Easy enough to do. Again, just quickly cleaning this up, but you can see how we can quickly build some topography, very micro level topography that matches with what we're trying to accomplish. And there we go. That should I should fill it in. I'm going to run my clean command, which gets rid of a lot of the erroneous material. Actually, this looks like it might need to say, see if I can run my soften or unhide command. Oops. Let's see here. I think it's all hidden. Nope, it's all softened, so unhide. Let's see if I can close it out and say 0 for softness, because I just want that hard line back, just more for reference than anything else. But there we go. So now I can explode this little group we just made, and just paint it back to the materials we need, and there we have it. we have the grass that fits perfect with what we want to do. And so I'm just going to do the same thing on this side, and we'll come back in just a second. So there we have it, driveway with a curb cut, three-dimensional curbs, our asphalt road, and our grass that follows along the contour lines. And what you're seeing right here with this line, if you remember, this is actually our boundary line. So again, this could kind of get in the way in certain views. So that's why we have it set on its own layer. So if we wanted to, we could turn that off. It all depends on what you're trying to show in view and all that good kind of stuff. So it is there as an option. So that's how we can build roads. And again, I think the 3D version, if you have time to build it, just adds a little bit of character and looks really nice. But if not, the 2D version that we built, again, serves its purpose very well. Again, you're really not going to be looking at the road a whole lot. And really, the only time I would do this 3D version is if I know I'm going to do something special and go into rendering programs and say we're going to do a car driving along the road looking at the house, and we might see this. It just adds a little bit of texture and realism to what's going on. And or if I have time to do it, just adds a little bit of a nice little oomph to the project.